Hello and welcome to my class. And this time we'll talk about the notions of pragmatics. Okay, that it studies the spoken meanings we have already discussed. There are three notions: sentences, utterance, and propositions. We will try some convergence strategies. In the beginning session, pre-reading, we will talk about these three notions. And then while we do, we will study some convergence strategies, and post-reading will be a project or spoken part or conversation, presentations, and the project, or what we say, written project, we'll talk about this. So I start my lecture. We started with pragmatics. So pragmatics is related to the study of meaning. And since there is no dichotomy between a sentence meaning or an utterance meaning or a proposition basically mediates. Yes, excellent. So starting right away from, so we did talk about different types of pragmatic theories. It has some underdeterminacy. So there are three parts: sentences, speech, acts, and utterances. We did talk about that there is no direct connection between these. There are different types of propositions. Proposition is a kind of declarative sentence, excellent. And then we talked about some semantic aspects that it talks about, some other theories related to implicature in the introductory lecture and the secondary lecture. So today we'll discuss in detail what are these three notions. So let's say we have this the example is taken from web. I'm sorry, I'm unable to share the code at this moment. The site, but I'll share it later. So in order to understand the difference, we have 4 or 5 lines dialogue. So one person says, I have a car. So it can be an utterance, it can be a sentence, and it's a proposition. Do you know how it is a sentence? Yes. I have a car. Is it a sentence or a word or what, a phrase? Oh, yes, it's a sentence because, yes, it has a subject and a word and an object. Excellent. So a car is an object and a subject is I or we, as we say, subjective one, and have a, so without a word we cannot have a sentence. Excellent. Sorry. So when somebody says I have a car, so he says sorry. So what does this mean, sorry? That the person says I don't have or something, huh? Or it's kind of an utterance. Probably he is asking why you are mentioning have a car. So that's first person again will say, I have a car. I have a car. It means I'm endorsing the idea. It can be a sentence, utterance, and proposition. I will explain how, because it conveys the basic sense. So you have a car. So the other person says, and now it confirms that he has a car. And the person says, yes, so it's an utterance. So can you identify the key difference between a sentence and utterance? Sorry and yes are two utterances as I marked. And then we have spoken sentences as subject, verb, and object. Okay, so sentences are conditioned by SVO, but utterances are not. So this could be words, right? Okay, excellent. What about a proposition? See, the person reiterates he has a car. It means that he's explaining. So proposition probably is an explanation or explaining expression. Excellent. Let's go further. So we have three of these notions here, and it is having the overall understanding. So what do we study? Have we got anything important to discuss? Can we repeat? Is it so? Basically, first one is a proposition that it asks clarification or questions generally about something. We study semantics or pragmatics is a sentence, and we do What do we learn today? What kind of sentences? Excellent. Interrogative. We study linguistics today, okay? We are studying linguistics today, or we study linguistics every day. Get back to studies, okay? It's another expression. What kind of expression? It's an imperative. Wow, we study pragmatics notions today. So yes, it's an expression, sharing feelings. So these are sentences, and on the other side, hello, good to see you, have fun. What is it? Seems something else. Utterances, excellent. Let's cover it today. So the parallel structures. So these are the key differences among these notions. Now, here we have a formal expression. Who will read it? Yes, Sarah, you can read it. Okay, no, Raghav wants it. Okay, Raghav, you can read it and Sarah will follow. A sentence is a well-formed string of words that is put together according to grammatic rules of language. It is also unit of language system, an abstract entity, construct within the theory of grammar excellence. Like for France won the World Cup, sentence meaning generally, okay, a sentence has several types. So we have assertion, statements, question, request, warning. Okay, excellent. What about these? So we have different types of utterances and sentences here. You should work here for 2 minutes to see what's the key difference, as we talked about. Utterances or speech acts as single or spoken expressions, which could be complete sentence having a complete idea, or it could be incomplete phrase or clause. Excellent. And then we have sentences as well. Okay, so give your time to it and just try to identify. Here we have a concept, so you can work in different groups, work in different settings to mark the features, and then you will discuss about these. Excellent. Here we have another part, what we call functions, spoken functions. So there are several functions. Even proposing or proposal or proposition is a function. Promising. These are related to our pragmatic part, though it can be conveyed into sentences, and also it can be conveyed into propositions when there is an overlapping between those. So yes, there could be direct speech acts and indirect speech acts. And these are different types of speech acts. Verdicts, as we talked about, to give decisions, etc. Okay. Then speech acts are these types. These are the. Okay. Now here we will talk about how do we make propositions. Okay. So in this way, it can be done at least 4 ways. One is called passive and active. What is a passive sentence? Yes. When the activity is more important. Excellent. What is an active sentence? When the actor is more important. Excellent. And then we have, okay, clefting sentence. Clefting sentence are declarative sentence or descriptive sentence. For example, it is the study of conversation that we do in pragmatics, or it was the study of meanings, linguistic meanings that we studied in semantics. Excellent. Okay, and then we have question, what do we study it here? Pragmatics. What are the different notions, sentences? Okay, excellent. Okay, conditional. Conditional can be many types, but basically what we say when we put an if and we are assuming something, conditional. If it is pragmatics, we will study on utterances. If it is pragmatic, if it is semantics, we will study meanings, and if it is syntax, we will study structures. Excellent. Now I am dividing you into 4 groups of 4 each, as we have like about 14-15 students today. You will be given some sentences related to these sentences, and you will try to convert them into propositions or utterances or sentences, as we did the practice. So you can do it, and while you do it, as I've told you, like we can make it through passive or active. We can make it through, okay, clefting. We can make it through questioning. And we can make it through, yes, excellent, conditionals. So go on the next slide of your examples and exercise, and you are supposed to do it by conversion. And once we are done this, the later activity will be, we will produce these conversions to one another. One person would talk about sentences, the other group would talk about utterances, the third group would talk about propositions, and the fourth one will talk about the overall idea about that. I switch it over to you to have this activity of pre-reading, and once you are done, I'm doing with you. If it is done, then we'll talk about some further projects about it.